What is up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Tuesday. You know, it's a Tuesday, two for Tuesday, they always say. October 18, 2022. I'm your host, Joe from the Buckeye Cast, bringing it to you every day. Today's topic. Subscription service is almost done. A couple days. Just give me a couple days, a couple more days of testing. We're almost there. Today's topic, I want to talk about one specific player, one guy on the Ohio State Buckeyes, and you might know him. He is the starting middle linebacker, Tommy Eichenberg. I want to talk about the evolution of Mr. Eichenberg from 2021 to this year, and I want to kind of tell you, kind of with stats and some rock hard numbers that how he has evolved, he has changed, and obviously the new system, the new defensive system, is a key part of his evolution. But I think he's gone through like a change, and things are really starting to click for him. So let's jump into it. You might remember last year, the Minnesota game, he had a few tackles. I think he had a fumble recovery in that game. He had like 9 tackles in the first 2 games last year, starting off the season. So you're like, okay, Eichenberg's got it. He's our rock in the middle we can lean on, regardless of how fucked up the defense was, right? The scheme. So then he kind of got lost in the shuffle throughout the year. Didn't see much about him, didn't see much of him. He played 431 total snaps, compared to so far in half a season, he's played 303. So, he just kind of was quiet, and, he is quiet. I mean, not talking about his personality, but then in the Rose Bowl, things really clicked, obviously. I think those extra bowl practices and just giving him a job, read and react, play fast, comes out with the 17 tackles. 11 of them were solo tackles. Then fast forward that to this year, the Notre Dame game. We're like, okay, so how is this new system with Jim Knowles going to affect Tommy Eichenberg? Well, he seemed to take to it like a fish to water, right? Jim Knowles praised him all offseason. He said he was the first one to pick up the defense. He's constantly he's super sharp, knows where every player should be on the defense. He knows what he's doing, and he makes the plays. So fast forward to the Notre Dame game. Like I said, he had 9 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs. And it was off to the races from there. And since, he's just been racking up stats, and he's not a stat monster, but he's getting people in position. He's playing fast, downhill, reading and reacting, and making plays. Right now, he is leading the team with 33 tackles. Next closest is Steele Chambers with 24. He also has 13 assists. But pressure on the quarterback, this is what I find interesting. He is 1 pressure behind JT Tuimoloau in leading the team in total pressures with 13. He has 4 sacks, 3 hits on the quarterback, 6 hurries. The dude is doing everything, and all of that with only 5 missed tackles through 6 games. That's awesome. That's freaking great. Just continue to keep those missed tackles down. But this guy, he shows up, especially in the biggest games. Like I mentioned, the Notre Dame game, then the Wisconsin game, Michigan State game. These big time games where you need your leader to show up. He had 12 tackles against Wisconsin. 12. 2 pressures on the QB, a sack, a hurry. Against Michigan State, he had 5 tackles and assist. 3 total pressures. 1 was a sack and 2 hurries. And then against Notre Dame, we mentioned Rutgers, couple QB pressures, 3 tackles, a hit on the quarterback. So he is doing everything that this Ohio State defense needs him to do, and it's really it's lovely to see. It's awesome. Last year, for the season, I mentioned he had 431 snaps, and they had him in coverage way too much. He was targeted 25 times and allowed 20 receptions. He's a middle linebacker. You do not put a middle linebacker in coverage. So far this year, nine times he's been targeted. This should be obvious, I would say, to a coach. If a coach had my middle linebacker playing in coverage, I would lose my shit. It's not his job. It's what outside linebackers are for. So again, last year he had 9 total pressures. Like I said, this year so far he has 13 just through 6 weeks. And the hurries, the hits on the quarterback. Last year he had no sacks. This Jim Knowles scheme is perfect for him, and it's just highlighting him as a player. And he's, with his intelligence and his athleticism combined, he is blowing up, and I think he should be in line for the Dick Butkus Award. I know Jack Campbell of Iowa gets a lot of run, especially when Gus Johnson on Fox gets to talk about him, but Tommy Eichenberg is your best middle linebacker in the country. That's it.